Well, hey y'all, welcome back to the eBay shed here and to the channel. My name is David. I go by Rev here on YouTube. I'm a full-time pastor, and yep, in the fun time, if you watch the last few videos, you'll know that in the fun time we like to sell on eBay and make a little bit of extra money. And it's a blessing to my family, and that's just what we do. Nicky T loves yard selling and estate selling. Truth be told, I do as well. And then we sell and recoup the money, make a little extra on eBay, and it's a blessing to us. If you saw the thumbnail, you probably know the topic. Of course, I'll show you what sold from yesterday until today, until one night, 24 hours. I think we got 15, 16 sales that we can share with you today. And yep, Rev got drunk. Now, friends, if you're a church member or if you know me, you probably know I don't partake in alcohol. So it wasn't because of any strong drink. It was because I got junk drunk. And because I got junk drunk, I purchased a lot of things that I probably should not have purchased. And if you're wanting to learn a little bit about eBay and learn a little bit about reselling, this is probably one of those lessons that you'll have to learn. I've been doing it a long time, and listen, I'm still having to learn that lesson. Would it be worth watching a full-time pastor and a fun-time reseller here on YouTube? I don't know. Do you think you should keep watching and see if this guy, this man, this myth, this legend?
Yeah, right.
Okay, not a myth or a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Reverend Reselling. Well, all right, y'all. I have to really tell you this story and to explain a little bit more about why it's important to learn this lesson. Learn it from me, learn it from others. It's an important lesson to learn because it can cost you and cost you greatly. And I'll explain it a little bit more, but maybe some of the items that I have listed this morning, just to, I got up a little bit early and got some of these listings done. I'm getting ready to pack orders, but I always bring the orders that I've listed either the night before or the morning of. I'll bring those items in here, as I said in the last video, and I'll do my custom label SKU and put these items where they go. But I think I can explain the story a little bit better after I bring these items out to you. And get ready. Buckle up, because yep, Rev got drunk. Be back. Thought I was raised in the barn, not shutting the door. All right, so how can I rightly explain this? Here's how the story went. Now, networking is a great thing when you're a reseller. You want to let people know what you're interested in. So I used to say every time I'd go to a yard sale, I would say, hey, do you have any video games? Well, I don't do that as much anymore. I sort of like vinyl records. Y'all saw in probably the last video, I've got a lot of vinyl records for sale. So I enjoy that. I've got probably $500 or $600 vinyl records. So because I ask, I get a lot of people that'll say, hey, yeah, there was a lady the other day, she wanted $20 for about 70 vinyl records, and I gave her $50 and told her that was still the deal. She was happy to get it, and I was happy to give it to her. Had some good records. You'll see some of those for sale before long. But this was a couple of weeks ago. Wasn't last weekend, 2 weekends ago. Went in and was driving around, went to a yard sale on a Friday, and I asked, as I always do, hey, you got any vinyl records? And it was a gentleman, and he said, my wife has a friend, and she has some really good vinyl records. They're in good condition, and she wants to sell them. Well, I was like, I'll be your huckleberry. I mean, I'm it. So he said, well, I'll get my wife to give you her number. And I thought, well, oh no, Nicky T wasn't with me. I said, I'm not calling a lady, just blind calling like that. Just my morals. I choose not to, make any contact that way. But I asked her, I said, ma'am, if you'll contact her, Me and my wife will go over, and didn't know she was married, had a husband of her own. Didn't need to, just knew I wanted Nikki T with me. So the lady said, yeah, I'll call her. She called and asked if it was okay if I made contact. So I made contact, and we set up a meeting to come by and look at these vinyl records. Later on that day, Nikki T had gotten off work. We went over and went to looking. Saw the vinyl records. They were nice. We made a deal. I think the deal for the vinyl records was $150. Already, I was a little junk drunk. Setting the stage, we walk in. It's a barn, a garage. She's got a big square body Chevy up front with a 350 on the stand. She had a Fiero in the corner. Just my type of stuff. Got to looking around. It had some Harley Davidson collections, some different things. I thought, man, this is cool. So we'd already made a deal on that, and she said, well, do you like Barbies? Do you collect Barbies, or do you sell Barbies? And I was like, well, I don't know. Nikki T had already looked up one that went for about $100. So I thought, and I told her, I said, ma'am, if the price is right, I'm interested in pretty much anything. So she commences to pull out these big old blue crates and these drawers, and it had all these Barbies in it. Some of them are for sale, $37.88, still have the tag on, $31.88, came from Walmart, a lot of these. Packaging was not great. Long story short, I came out of there. I got a few, I've got a few good items, some maybe not so much. But we came out filling up the back seat and the trunk area of Nikki T's Ford Escape. We filled it up. It was filled to the brim, and I spent $550. At the end of the interaction, she said, you make it $575 and I'll come to church Sunday. Well, y'all know I'm a full-time pastor, and I'm a sucker for I'll come to church Sunday, but I told her, I said, I'm going to give you this $25 because you need it. We'd love to see you in church, but it's not necessary. She didn't come to church. Maybe they'll come next Sunday or the next Sunday. I don't know. But as we came home and commenced to price out all the stuff that we got, we found out that we didn't do the right thing at the moment, which would have been more investigation, not just seeing loads of dusty stuff, seeing one comp for one item and assume that all the rest will be similar. I thought $550 was a steal. I told Nikki T, we'll make $2,000 off of this, so we'll make our $550 back. Y'all, we learned our lesson. We'll probably make our $550 back, but we're not going to make much. So the junk drunk story is comp stuff. Make sure it's a good deal. Don't just think it's a good deal. Make sure it is. This is a lot of work. Even if I make a $500 profit when all these Barbies sell 28 years from now, it's really not going to be all that worth it. They're big, they're bulky, they take up a lot of space. They, I even took some out of the packages because the packages were in such rough shape, and I'm selling them $10, $15 a piece. So, you get a bunch, $10, $15, it all adds up, but every one of them's got to have a box, every one of them's got to be shipped out, every one of them's got to be listed, and it just takes a lot of time. So if you're learning from Rev and you're new to the reselling game, or if you're like me, old hat, really don't get junk drunk. All you see is, profit, 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 and next thing you know, you're really not getting the profit that you think you should. So I'm going to get all these put away, and then we'll commence to going through some of those 15, I think 16 now, one sold a moment ago, 16 items that have sold over 24 hours on eBay. Y'all, I cleared this tote out yesterday. This is tote J. I cleared it out yesterday with Barbies that we sold and finished. All these Barbies, I just unboxed them. Superstar Barbie, Celebration Barbie 2000. All these, I just put them, I don't know how you do it, but this works for me. Of course, when I pull something out, I put it in this Ziploc bag. Is not Ziploc, it's a dollar store bag. But I put it in there. It keeps all the accessories together. It keeps dust off of it. and then I sort of stack them in. I'm going to stack these in right here in this spot, and they don't take nearly the amount of space that they would have taken if they still had their box, and it's much easier to ship. I can ship these in a 12 by 6 by 6 now. Already sold one, I think 10 bucks, so I'm not making a bunch off these Barbies, but thank goodness most of them are listed. I still have probably this much more to list. We did get a bunch. We got a bunch of Barbies in that $550 deal, but it's not going to be a bunch of profit. So don't learn from Rev, don't get drunk. Learn from Rev, don't get junk drunk. All right, y'all, let's get ready now. I'm going to pull the orders that I have for today and just share with you some of the things that have sold. In the last video, I had many comments that say, hey, maybe you could show us how to do eBay. Maybe you could show us things that to buy. Maybe you can show us. I want to tell you the way I consume reselling content is a lot of the information that I know I've learned just by watching what solds. And of course, there's picker videos where people go out and pick. There'll be some of those where me and Nikki T are going to yard sales and going to estate sales and finding things to buy. That's where you make your profit. You make your profit on buying well. That's why I mentioned to you earlier about getting junk drunk. Don't do that. Don't just have $100 in your pocket and say, well, I'm going to spend $100 a day so I can sell something on eBay. Well, if you buy something that's worth, $500 and you buy it for $100, that's great. But if you buy a $100 item to sell on eBay that sells on eBay for $97, guess what? You have lost money. You have lost time. You have lost fees. You have lost shipping. Every bit of that is going to be backwards. So the best way to learn is to see items that sell. Go to your phone and comp items. Look and see what they have. Listen to what they have sold for on eBay. Make sure that there's enough sell-through rate that if there's 10 items that are for sale and there are 20 that have sold in the last 90 days, that's a good sell-through rate. But if there's 20 of those listed on eBay and only one sold over the last 90 days, that means your item is either going to have to be undercut in price or your item's probably not going to sell. So I just want to share with you the few items. We sold about $600, a little bit under $700 worth of stuff. So without, and that is including shipping. Shipping, well, I just paid $132 for shipping labels. So I'm going to bring home probably close to $400, $450 from these items. So not too bad, not too bad. The first one is on C1. It is a Haynes pickup manual. Kevin purchased this. I don't know if Kevin is a viewer of the channel or not. There's a few of those that may be viewers. One I know is, and a few others that I'm not 100% sure if they're viewers or not. This item here sold for $10.38. Next, I've sold 3 items from my junk drunk buy in today's video. Out of the 17 items, 16 labels, this Coca-Cola Barbie sold for $10. I sold a Divergent. Y'all remember that movie? I think it is this one. This Divergent right here. This I read the book series in that. $10 for that. Next, I sold a Mariucci bat. I want to show you where, that's my air conditioner, it's Georgia. Mariucci bat is a wooden, there it is right here. This Mariucci handcrafted pro model bat sold for $10. There's one nick on it right there. If you've got any items that you have for sale and they have nicks or scratches or something like that, this is where people oftentimes say, well, hey, I get scammed on eBay. I'm not going to sell on there anymore. I sold a $100 item and they wanted to send it back and eBay forced me to take their refund. Well, if you sold an item and did not clearly give a description that this and this and this is where issues are, when buyers get it, they have the right to say, hey, I don't want it. I'm not interested in that. And eBay is going to side with the buyer every time on issues like that. So guess what I did with that Mariucci bat? I took a picture of that nick. I pointed my finger to where that nick was, and I put it in the description that there was a nick there. I had it, I was selling it for $79. Guy came in with a $60 offer. And you know what I said? I said sold, and I took it. Anytime you're looking and finding stuff, of course, I have a few of the Divergent. I have a few of these movies. The one I pulled was not the right one, and thank goodness I pulled up the picture and made sure I had the right one. Check when you're pulling that pick list, it doesn't have a picture, so sometimes I get on my phone and make sure I've got the right one. Don't have my computer out here now, it's back in the house. So this is the right one. Yep, didn't sell for much, but what was it, $10? But it's this is the right one. They would have gotten this one and the other one for $10 if I'd sent the wrong one, because eBay would have said, hey, you sent them the wrong one, send them the right one, and I wouldn't wanted to pay for return shipping to get my old one back, so I'd have lost it too. Pay attention when you're shipping. Right now we're going to pick this new in a box eye primer, full size eye primer. I don't have a clue what the eye primer looks like. Eye primer, new in a box, eye primer, full size. That says eye primer. That there is went for $21.57. And I got some Schaefer pens. I gotta find those. Those are in E. Down in here. Schaefer pens. I think I sold one a little bit later, but I sold these two. These two Schaefer pens went for $30. Oop. Like I'm already shipping them. And then I sold another bat. Y'all, look at this bat. Alright, here it is. Y'all, this bat right here, this is an Easton Advanced 360 bat. This bat was sitting over in the corner of my listing area, and this bat sold for $119.97 plus shipping. So I've sold about $200 worth of bats in the last couple of days, so it's pretty good. So of course, packing this $119 bat, I've taken a 4x4 by 48 box and cut it down to the right size. Then I of course put paper in the bottom, make sure it goes all the way down. Then what I'm gonna do, well, I'm gonna pull it out a little bit, put more paper there, more paper on the top, put my label, and tape it up and send it out. It works that way for me. It gives it a little bit more structure in the middle, more structure on the bottom, more structure on the top. Then when they cut it, they're not going to cut into anything. Does it need to be bubble wrapped? It's bad. Is it going to hurt it? No. Does it look better? Sure. Well, here are the next three on the table, the next three items that I sold. Now, if this doesn't tell you the drastic difference in the items in which can be sold on eBay, you've got buyers all over the world that are on eBay. Here's the first one. This is a lot of 45, I guess that said loci bracelets. That sold for $52.48. Great sale, great to get that gone. Next is this. So we've got new modern bracelets, maybe that are new and out of style. Now we have a QRS word roll, goes on a piano. This goes on a player roll, it goes on a piano, and it's a lot of 6 of those for 15 bucks. And then we got this cool Harley Davidson Monopoly sign. This is in the junk drunk sale. purchased it. So there's $17.97 back from my $550 purchase of Barbies that have been selling. But are they selling good enough to get $550 back? That is yet to be seen. So let me get these 3 packed up, and then I think we have two more after that. All right, y'all, the last 2 items that we sold. First one is in crate T. And it is this right here, this Space Voyager. And guess where I bought this? Yep, in the junk drunk yard sale, or junk drunk sale that I found at a yard sale. That sold for $13.97. Getting a little bit closer, y'all, a little bit closer. And next is some Mary Kay firming cream. Yes, I sell firming cream. Can't y'all tell I use it myself? Firming cream right here. This Mary Kay firming cream. It went for $17.76. That was a good year, folks, good year. All right, y'all, Nikki T's timing is impeccable. Of course, she shows up right at the very end. She didn't have to pull any orders today, so she's gonna get to eat for free tonight. I'm gonna get in trouble if I keep talking like that. We didn't tell any dad jokes in this video, Nikki T. Do you know any off the cuff? I put her on the spot again, y'all. I'm gonna get myself in trouble doing that.
What do you call a cow with no legs?
What do you call a cow with no legs?
Ground beef.
Ground beef. Last one. Nikki T, I told him I got drunk. What did I tell him about?
I don't know.
See, that's good, y'all, that my wife thought there's no David got drunk story in our marriage or anything like that she remembers. I told him we got junk drunk. Where did we recently get junk drunk at? Junk drunk.
Oh.
Where was it?
We bought all the Barbies.
Yes, look at there. Nikki T knows this. We got junk drunk, and I listed a bunch of Barbies today, sold a few Barbies today, but it wasn't our best buy. I think we'll get our $550 back, but you know, it is what it is. You live, and you learn, most certainly. All right, y'all, we got some bubble from American Bubble Boy. I've never purchased from American Bubble Boy. I was looking for Lonnie's thing, and then I ended up using code Commonwealth and saved like $2. But we're out of bubble outside of this, so I'm gonna try American Bubble Boy, and hopefully that'll do well. Let's show you the here's all the packages, all of this, without showing any of the labels. All of this here on this table is going out for a Monday sale. I think that is pretty good. So y'all, I want to thank y'all again so very much for watching. I will say to you that if you are interested in seeing all the stuff that we have for sale, the store is down in the description. The old man's store is down in the description as well. I think most everything he's got is Hot Wheels. He may have a few records that he's putting out. He actually said he had a Barbie buy he was wanting to do. I hope he doesn't do it, but he'll learn if he gets junk drunk as well. But how do we close them out? I think we always tell y'all how much we love y'all. We thank you so very much. Right behind me it says like and subscribe if you want to. But we do appreciate y'all watching, and without any further ado, we always say deuces. May God bless.